CHGO White Sox Podcast, coming to you live from Studio A of our CHGO offices here in the West Loop of Chicago. I'm Sean Anderson. Alongside me, the full CHGO White Sox crew. That's Vinnie Duber. Follow him at Vinnie Duber. You can read his latest piece up at allchgo.com about John Brebbia. The announcement has been made official. John Brebbia is a White Sox. Romy Gonzalez, DFA. Dun, 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 dun. We'll also get Vinny's journeys with the Boys and Girls Club and the Chicago White Sox from yesterday. Chatted with Pedro Grifol and others. And we'll talk about SoxFest 2025 returning, along with, I'm blanking on the other topic. Hi, Herb.
Hi.
That's Herb Lawrence. You can follow him at Eckerwall23. He's our CHGO White Sox community leader.
More fallout from yesterday's announcement.
Honestly, Vinny, we kind of had it. I feel like we had that segment done before the show. I feel like you and I just chatted about.
Yeah, really. Yeah.
I feel like we got that segment done.
So hopefully Sarah was running the mics while we were talking here, and we can put it up later because we're not going to do that again.
All right, so let's jump into SoxFest 2025. I think first on it was Ryan McGuffey, who said, "I'm hearing rumors that SoxFest was returning," and then just a little bit later, they made it official. They sent out a press release, had the picture, January 24th and 25th of next year, 2025. SoxFest will return to celebrate the 20th anniversary of the 2005 World Series team and the 125th anniversary of the Sox organization. Location and ticket info will come at a later date. What are our thoughts? Because we keep hearing, where is SoxFest? Where is SoxFest? Where is SoxFest? I think we've done like 4 podcasts on where is SoxFest. It's back.
You got your wish, everybody. SoxFest is back. Not necessarily my wish, but that's okay.
No, I didn't want.
But
respectfully,
no.
I did not.
But that's okay. They don't put it on for me. You got your wish. Again, we're short on details. They were short on details. Other than it sounds like maybe that would be the kickoff of some year-long celebrations for some pretty important anniversaries. The 125th anniversary of the White Sox will be next year.
The Chicago White Sox. So this is 100 years of them being in Chicago.
125.
Oh, 125.
Yeah.
But they were a team before this.
St. Paul?
They weren't, right. They weren't just...
But it wasn't like a major league team, though.
Yes.
It's the 125th anniversary of the White Sox before I was so rudely interrupted.
Well, no, I'm sorry, because I went to Baseball Reference. The first season's 1901. Like, the first actual season's 1901.
Yeah.
So,
So 2025 will be 125.
Yeah, the one counts. Count 1, 2, 3.
One is one.
One is one.
Okay. Well,
It'll be the 125th season of White Sox baseball in 2025.
Okay. On Wikipedia, it says based in Chicago since 1900. So, I think that's what I thought.
Maybe that's when they were established, after the 1900 season was over.
Yeah.
Ooh.
I think the American League was established in 1901.
Yes.
So, I think maybe 2026 they'll celebrate the 125 years of the American League.
Okay, well, you can go to SoxFest 2026 for that big celebration. But no, that's a cool one, and I'm sure I'm sure we'll see maybe some retro jerseys rolled out throughout the year, on certain days and stuff like that. But I would imagine that'll be the kickoff of a big year-long celebration for that. 20 years of the World Series team is a big deal for a lot of folks here in Chicago. I mean, listen, there's so many people who still, because it was yesterday or today is the anniversary of Super Bowl, the Bears Super Bowl.
Correct.
And people
38th.
still talk about the 1985 Chicago Bear team. People still talk about the 2005 White Sox team, and that will be celebrated, again, I would imagine, throughout next season. So SoxFest might serve as a kickoff to both of those celebrations. But, hey, you guys have missed it. 2020 was the last time it happened, so quite the hiatus here. But we'll see where they put it. It was at McCormick Place, obviously, in 2020. Long time, for a long time, it was at the Hilton right over here. But they didn't announce where it will be, so we're going to be sitting and waiting to find out the location. But you get your SoxFest back, and I'm sure you'll have plenty of questions for all the various panels that will be there. Chiefly that one probably run by the front office, I would imagine.
Yeah, and I like that the White Sox are doing this. I had gripes that they hadn't returned to doing this because other teams had resumed it after the pandemic. And so this is nice fan outreach for the White Sox to do this because people have been clamoring for it. While the White Sox during the season, for the most part, haven't been good, that's a time when you get together and see some of the people who made you White Sox fans. See a Frank Thomas show up there, a Dan Pasqua, a Don the Pope, Don Paul showing up.
I was talking to our guy Jim. Jim said he saw Alex Cintron there one year.
What?
It had to be the year that Alex Cintron was on the White Sox.
Yeah, if he shows up late after he did play, like, who the fuck? Who? Alex? I mean, because also Alex Cintron was kind of a jerk. It still is in the Astros dugout.
Maybe someone brought an Alex Cintron jersey from the garage sale and just wore it, and Jim saw that guy.
It's not my thing. As a White Sox fan, I never liked it, but I've also been a media member, so I saw how the sausage has been made, and getting autographs for me, it's not a big thing, but I understand people who love it and who look forward to that January night where you get to go out and see some of your heroes up close and personal, get an autograph from these people. Bringing it back is awesome. What they're doing tonight for the season ticket holders, I think, was like kind of like a kickoff. It's like, hey, we're giving you, we see you out there. Thank you for supporting us through this tough time. And then now next year they can get everything ready and rolling back for the fans. This is a nice outreach for the White Sox. In a offseason worth a lot of negativity, this is a huge positive for the White Sox.
Well, I'll say this too about the 2005 anniversary. If you love that 2005 team, and if you're watching this show, you probably do. Yes. It's not going to just be like, oh, one panel where 4 guys that they got are up there. It's going to be like a whole 2-day celebration of that 2005 team. I would not be surprised if they drag out basically everybody they can find from that
Widger,
team.
Brandon McCarthy.
Oh, that'd be excellent.
Why
He's
not?
An awesome speaker.
Right.
Why not?
He's snarky.
And I think, like I said, there have been SoxFests in the past where it's like, all right, we'll throw John Garland and Jose Contreras up there, and AJ, and they'll talk about, oh yeah, 2005 was so great. Now you're talking like full programming. All about that 2005 team. So I would imagine there's going to be a bunch of people who are very happy that this anniversary is the time they're able to go back to SoxFest.
And introducing number 27, Jamie Burke.
He had one plate appearance.
There you go. White Sox legend.
Raul Casanova, maybe. I really hope they bring out every single person. It would be great to see every single person from 2005. If you had one,
are they still with us?
You had one at bat. I'll look through. If you had one at bat, do you get the ring? Does Jamie Burke get the ring?
Yeah.
It doesn't list him as a World Series winner on his baseball reference
I'm sure
page.
the White Sox gave announcers rings. I'm sure a person that actually participated in 2005 got a ring. They gave everybody a ring. Jerry was very nice about that.
Very, very nice, Jerry.
Generous.
So I did ask the Discord, our diehards, what were some positive memories that they've had from previous TED Talks. Sox Mom said, I absolutely loved all the years.
From previous TED Talks?
Oh, my bad. So in the same note, I did a TikTok about SoxFest coming back, and I made some jokes. And one of them was, the last joke was, the whole setup was, oh, if the season ticket holder thing goes well, maybe they'll have it at the Field Museum. And the last one was, and a TED Talk from Carl Everett on why dinosaurs aren't real. So that was, all right.
He'll be back.
Flat.
I think TED Talks have to be, true.
Well, yeah, it was a joke. Yeah, I know you take everything literally. Sometimes we joke.
Hey.
I also said that they were going to exhume the body of Charles Comiskey, if that's
God.
okay.
Hey, Carl Everett was correct. But dinosaurs weren't in the Bible.
Dinosaurs weren't in the Bible. That's true. I mean, he is right about that. But Sox Mom said, I absolutely loved all the years I went to SoxFest. I probably attended 8 different times. The seminars where fans could ask questions of Kenny were always entertaining. The players were chatty and kind. They often brought in old players like Bo Jackson. The after hours at the hotel with other Sox fans was great. Occasionally, a player or broadcaster would step in to socialize. One year, they had shoeless Joe Jackson's bat that you could hold. You had to put gloves on to do so, but how cool is that? One year, they partied with Mark Burley's family, and the garage sale was always cool, where you can get a no-name player authentic jersey for $50, and getting to meet the prospects was nice. And AJ said that there was a White Sox themed escape room last time, and that's enough for me. Being a White Sox fan already feels like an escape room. So thank you, AJ, for that one. But Jim also echoed that he went for a day. Those 6 hours were worth it. He got to see the garage sale, the old merchandise that people are able to bring out. He praised the panels for being interesting. That 2005 panel might be fun. Everyone sharing memories. Maybe Mark Burley knows the exact amount of beer he drank. Ozzie Guillen, I didn't realize this, on one podcast with White Sox Talk podcast, he said that Freddie Garcia drank a bottle of wine an entire bottle of wine before his World Series start.
I mean,
so they were drinking.
I mean, there's a reason why I wore the long sleeves.
And there's a reason he was sweating so damn much.
Got to sweat that out.
Sweating that alcohol out.
Wine is. You want to chug a bottle of wine before going out and doing a sport?
It worked. It worked.
I don't know if he chugged it. Maybe he was sipping on it. Maybe he was smoking something.
Just ingesting it. That is. That is a recipe for vomiting.
Someone that's fair. But someone said that alcohol is banned by the Olympics because it's a muscle relaxant. So maybe there was something in there. I don't know. But yeah, it'd be great to see Tadahito Iguchi, Juan Uribe, and maybe they bring his kid up there too. And because he's still in the White Sox.
Yes.
Yeah. So I mean, hey, it'll be fun to see all the people come out. Do you guys have a guess? I mean, it's obviously a year out from now. But a guess on where they might.
I don't have a guess. Again, none of this is information. This is just me speculating. But I mean, keep the Hilton in mind, right? I mean, that's a place where not only the Sox had their convention for many years, but the Cubs had their convention for many years. The Bears had their convention over there.
Blackhawks, I think, too.
Yeah. So I mean, that place is just kind of familiar, and so I think there's. The people who will be running it probably very well know how things operate over at that building. There were some challenges, I think, with being at McCormick Place, whether it was just the size of that room or the fact that it was all kind of out in the open with everything. I think maybe the separate rooms is kind of attractive in some regards. So keep it in mind. But again, this is Chicago. There's a ton of places where they could have something like that. A ton of places where they could fit something like that. And I'm sure that one hotel or the one convention center are not the only places that they would be considering.
I mean, the Cubs do their thing now at the Sheridan right across on Columbus. White Sox, when I first started working with the Score, which was at NBC Tower, did it at the Sheridan also in the basement, and it was well attended. And I think this is going to be double well attended because they're bringing it back after 5 years, and because of the 2005 reunion coming back and the celebration of that. This is going to be, I think, a big, huge event because of the buildup from all those things. So they need a big space. And I know people are thinking, well, the Cubs can do that because they have a bunch of fans. I'm telling you, this is going to be one of the biggest, hottest tickets for the White Sox in 2025 because of all the factors I just named. So they need a big space. I mean, not necessarily McCormick Place because that's way too big.
It was selling out during the rebuilding years. I mean, obviously people were excited about the future in a way that they might not currently right now be. But, I mean, listen, whenever somebody tries to tell me, oh, it's a Cubs town, guys, there's no shortage of White Sox fans.
None.
There is certainly enough to not only fill up a ballpark but sell out SoxFest. There's no shortage of that. So I don't think you're off base there, Herb, at all.
Thankfully, I can report that no players from the 2005 team have passed away except for Frank Thomas.
Well, he has not.
Nice. Good job.
I got you. I'm sorry. I didn't.
For the people that don't understand that joke.
Don't even explain it.
I will, because the podcast people won't know that you're joking that the other Frank Thomas
got it. Most
died.
people get it.
The other Frank Thomas, the older former twin, I believe. And Fox News
Sarah has no idea what you're talking about.
No? Yeah, Fox News reported that our Frank Thomas had died, and everybody was like, what the is going on? And then Frank Thomas had to do a Instagram post himself to say, I'm alive, that other Frank Thomas is dead, and rest in peace that other Frank Thomas.
Oh wait, does this mean the return of Don Cooper?
Don Cooper
and Ethan Katz, like a pitching roundtable. Brian Bannister, Floyd Bannister can come back. Don Cooper. Oh, this. I
don't know if
great.
Don Cooper and the White Sox relationship is in that great, but I'm sure he'll come back for his people.
Yeah, if they pay him enough money. I mean, who won't come back? I'm looking right now at the coaches. Joey Cora's alive. Art Kushner is alive.
My guy.
Lee Mansue is alive. And Tim Raines is alive. So maybe
we're here.
We got everyone. So that's good. All right.
Debo still with us? Who? He wasn't on the team. I don't think he was.
Did you say Debo?
Yeah.
I don't think Debo was there yet. All right. Whenever they have a reunion of the 2016 team, though, Debo will be there. All right. Let's take a break, and we'll let you know about our friends over at Circa Sportsbook. It's a big day on Sunday, and you should be betting, if you are betting, with our friends over at Circa Sportsbook. They have tight money line splits and a low hold model. Games will strive to be a -110 split on the Circa Sports menu, unlike other sportsbooks, which may use a -115 split or -120 split. And Circa keeps as little money as possible on large market bets like futures and golf tournaments, especially compared to other books, which allows them to offer these prices and these lines. Their high App limits and transparency allows you to not be limited on your winnings. Every player has the same limits, unlike other books who do not limit winning players, and they encourage bettors to download and explore all sports betting apps available to compare lines from sportsbooks because, likely, since they are the world's largest sportsbook, they will have the best number each and every time you look to bet a game. And plus, if you run into an issue with our friends over at Circus Sportsbook, there are real people behind the Circus Sports brand who resolve issues in a timely fashion, unlike other books who use chat bots, and all aspects of the app are being run by the same team that runs the main Circus Sportsbook at Circa Resort and Casino in Las Vegas. If you are looking to bet the Chiefs and Ravens game, Circa has that at minus 110, plus 4 or minus 4 for the Ravens, who are favorites, and plus 4 for the Chiefs, who are underdogs. And then in the Lions and Niners game, Circa has that line at plus 7, plus 100 on the side for the Lions if you like the underdog, and minus 7 if you like the favorite Niners at minus 120. Download the Circus Sports app at circusports.com/Illinois-app. That's circusports.com/Illinois-app to sign up today. Also be on the lookout for Circa events, watch parties, and tailgates. If you or someone you know may have a problem with gambling, call 1-800-GAMBLER, 1-800-426-2537. Text GMB 833-234 or visit areyourreallywinning.com.
My turn?
I guess it's our turn.
We got to sing first, right?
588-2300
Empire. Guys, with Empire today, you get shop at home convenience, the right product for your needs, quick and professional installation, and a low price guarantee. Empire is the best place to get new flooring, so of course they've got those copycats that you've been hearing so much about. But Empire can't be beaten on quality, service, or speed, so competitors advertise low-quality products that Empire simply won't carry. Empire won't promise the lowest prices because anyone who does that is putting flooring in your home that they would not put in theirs. Empire's philosophy is to help you find what you need, not to overwhelm you with thousands of choices and substitutes. What they leave out of their selection is as important as what they put in. Empire's product team exhaustively combs through thousands of product samples each year to find the perfect styles. That virtual floor designer, that's a great way to see how new floors will look in any space. It's easy. Snap a picture and instantly see how new floors will look in your room. Have we tried yet putting hardwood on Guaranteed Rate Field yet with the virtual floor designer?
I'll get on.
We got to get there, right? And then put the camera to it.
I'll check it out.
So go out there, Sean.
It'll probably involve a lot of downloading of pictures. But, guys, they pride themselves on their convenient shop-at-home service. They help customers shop for floors where they use their floors so they can see exactly what new floors will look like in their home's lighting so they can make an informed decision. So here's your call to action, folks. Schedule a free in-home estimate today. All listeners can receive a $350 off discount when they use the promo code CHGO. Restrictions do apply. See EmpireToday.com/CHGO for details.
Downloading the picture was easy. Yeah, you have to snap a picture. So I'll do that opening day if I get in the building. Let's go to the super chat from Beef Loaf. We appreciate it, Beef. He gives us a $10 super chat. Thank you very much, Beef. Which member of the 2005 White Sox will get booed at next year's SoxFest, a la Jerry Krause and his widow?
I mean, it's easy. Kenny Williams, of course, will get a derisive cheer.
Will he be there?
Oh, 100%. He's going to be there because he put that team together. As Jerry Reinsdorf or as Jerry Krause, he doesn't deserve to be booed, especially when he's being honored and the team that he put together. I get it. Kenny and his whole tenure, probably not the White Sox fans' favorite person, but that's his team that he put together, and it might have been a shot in the dark, a flash in the pan, but where else? Which other general manager has put together a White Sox World Series champion in Chicago? None. And Kenny Williams.
Did they have general managers in 1917?
They did not. It was just Charles Comiskey doing his.
They just signed anyone who could get there by railroad.
Yeah, get here. All right, we're gonna pay you $3. Here you go. Get your ass out of here. But yeah, Kenny Williams should get a rousing cheer. I know he won't. He'll probably get booed lustily. And that's up to White Sox fans to do that if they want to do that. But I guarantee he will shake it off and just like, hey, man, you guys wanted a championship. These people behind me are the people that I brought together. So he will be the person to be lustily booed.
Do you guys know the name of the manager for the 1917 White Sox?
Yeah, Pants Rowland.
Okay. Why has that not been brought up on this show before?
That his first name's Pants?
No, it's Clarence Henry, but
nickname's Pants.
Everybody back in the day.
Jim's our Pants. With his jeans. I guess he's more jeans than pants.
Yeah, he probably wore like different type of jeans, like, ooh, fancy pants Rollins over here. This fucking guy.
Look at his Wikipedia photo. I mean, that guy was styling. I mean, I would kill for that hat.
That's a nice bowler.
Vinny, who's getting booed?
I mean, Herb said it. I don't think there's really anybody from the roster that people dislike, right?
See?
No.
That's the thing.
Not one person.
You said that there was an easy answer, and I'm shocked you didn't say it. I don't think Kenny gets booed.
Oh, come on.
There's
Look at Jeffrey Waterman already make an excuse and say Sox won in spite of KW, not because of him.
Hey, Jeff, they won. They
won because of him.
They won. Who cares?
Go ahead.
They
What were
won.
you going to say? Who
There's
gets booed?
one person that will get booed.
Who?
He currently coaches for the Cubs, Willie Harris.
No,
they're going to boo him because he coaches for the Cubs.
Absolutely
There's
not.
Absolutely going to be booed.
Scored the winning run.
I don't think.
I know.
I don't think a large
people
percentage
know?
of people in that room are going to know that he
Okay,
coaches for the
that's fair.
Cubs.
But I think there will be at least. I think that no one will get booed, and that's why I think there'll be at least like 5 boos for Willie Harris because he's a Cub guy.
Is he still a Cub?
Yeah, I think so.
He transferred over from the David Ross crew.
I actually don't know.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, Wikipedia still has him as their base coach.
Okay. Oh, he will not get booed. Willie Harris is beloved in this town.
I'm not saying
both sides of town.
I'm not saying you should boo him. I'm just saying, if anyone, I think it's the guy that's got the most Cub ties.
And just to get with Jeffrey, like, he traded Carlos Lee for Scott Podsednik and Luis Vizcaino, actively making that team the team that it was. Signed Shingo Takatsu, signed one of your favorite players, AJ Przinsky, signed Jermaine Dye. I mean, what are we doing? What are we doing? Like, those people he signed, traded Esteban Loaiza for Jose Contreras. Like, these people are moves that Kenny actually made to make that team better. So you can hate all you want. He produced that 2005 championship team that won 99 games in the regular season and went 11-1 in the postseason. Like, you can hate all the rest of his career. 2005, whether it's a fluke or he actually did it, he deserves the credit for it.
What I want to know is, will Steve Perry be there?
Oh, he's a Giants guy.
He was at the parade.
He was.
Yeah.
You don't remember that? Oh,
that
yes.
dude took every opportunity.
Yeah, damn right.
Hell yeah. I mean,
he left Journey and probably his dollars went down. He's like, hey, man, I need to be on every fucking baseball team. The White Sox, the San Francisco Giants.
Well,
whoever lets me go.
Didn't that happen because they heard it at a bar and they were mocking it?
Yeah.
They're mocking Don't Stop Believing, so it wasn't like, oh, we love this song.
It became the anthem whether they meant it to or not.
That's why they won, folks. Yeah, I mean, you look at the 2005 season, and Scott Podsednik was a better player than Carlos Lee, at least by WAR standards, and then you get also a WAR from Vizcaino. I mean, that's at least making the team better. You got 2 players instead of 1, and that one player was better than the other guy. I mean, Podsednik, at least for 2005, was better than Carlos Lee.
Yeah.
So it was the right move. Also, too, they're bringing back SoxFest just for this team. I think that should tell you all you need to know about how important and special this team is.
I mean,
it seemed like they were allergic to having SoxFest. I didn't think it was going to come back. Makes sense that they're doing it now, but I mean, hey, I'm surprised by it.
You drive around, you still see those license plate brackets. You go to the ball game, you still see everybody's wearing their hat from the World Series season. Like,
for Christmas, I got the keychain with the call on it.
there you go. There you go.
I mean, you could ask any White Sox fan who the starting lineup of that team, maybe that not name it up and down the roster, but they know the people. And they will swear that the trade of Aaron Rowan for Jim Thome was a bad one, which I don't think it was either. They still won 90 games, and they still love that team. It's a beloved team because it's the only. It's the one. It's our 85 Bears, as Vinny says. And those guys will never pay for a drink. I'm guarantee Luis Vizcaino goes in the bar. No one knows who he is. He says, I'm Luis Vizcaino. He's like, hey, calm down. Put your wallet away, man. I got you.
That whole phrase and that whole idea never makes sense to me.
No?
Oh, the sports stars who brought the championship to the city, they'll never pay for a drink in this town again. They're millionaires.
They are.
They should be paying for everybody else's drinks.
They should be. But do you think Jim McMahon comes in town and everybody's like, hey, give me some money, Jim McMahon? No, you're Jim McMahon. Jamie Burke.
Right.
For your one at bat.
That's the thing, too. Like, what level does that get cut off? Is it a Jamie Burke that doesn't get a drink?
I don't know if Jeff
like
Bajanero gets a fucking drink. It's like, who? Bajanero?
And who is Jeff Bajanero traded for?
Probably somebody good.
Alex Cintron, baby. Bring it back.
Full circle.
Bring it back. Can you go 1 through 9? For the game 4 lineup?
Of the actual lineup? Damn it.
I mean, I think
was
it's what
the
you
lineup,
think.
right?
Pasednik, Gucci, Konerko,
No.
Konerko?
Yeah.
Konerko, AJ, Rowan, Creedy, Uribe, Oguchi.
King.
Oh,
Well,
I already said
Oguchi.
Yeah,
twice.
you already said Iguchi. You need the
Uribe was
pitcher.
the end.
No, I said all of them.
You need the pitcher
For game what?
for. I mean, you could just.
Freddie Garcia.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
You could have named any pitcher. I mean, that's the DH is our guy, Carl Everett.
Oh, yeah, Carl
pitched
Everett.
hit for
And that's the weird thing. Like Frank Thomas, your best player of all time, who hit 12 home runs that year briefly, and got hurt, and you still won the World Series.
What was his injury?
I forgot what it was.
He was on fire.
Oh yeah, it was like the greatest 32 games of his career.
He crushed every ball.
How, again, like it doesn't make sense that they won the World Series without him.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Like he got hurt the year before too. Like my strong contention is the 2004 team might have been better than the 2005 team, but Maglio got hurt in 2004. This is last year the White Sox, and Frank got hurt, and it was like, and guess who hurt Maglio?
Who hurt Maglio?
Willie Harris. It was that play. Remember when I think it was Purple Hazley and I forgot who else who got his ACL torn.
Danny Mendick.
Danny Mendick. It was that same type of play where Willie Harris was going back on a ball, Maglio was coming in, and he tore his knee up, and then that was the end of his White Sox career.
The Willie Garcia, Yohan Moncada play.
Yeah.
It's been a dangerous one throughout team history.
Fractured his foot, Frank Thomas, and I didn't know that he pitched the first pitch at the game 1 of the divisional series against the Boston Red Sox. What a feeling for Frank Thomas, he said. All right. I think we could take another break here. Make sure you're hitting the thumbs up button. I do want to give a shout out to AJ, It's Baseball Kid, and Sox Mom 72 for their personal stories from SoxFest. And if you do want to become a diehard, feel free to sign up. AllCHGO.com. When you do sign up, you get the box on the table, and it's full of a shirt of your choice. You get a membership card, you get stickers, and you get access to the CHGO Discord. We call it the CHGO Lounge, and we're going to have more and more content coming out for our diehards, both through the Discord and then also on our website right now. I think every beat in the past week has put out a brand new diehard piece. Vinny's got his mailbag that he answered diehard questions from. I know that Will Gottlieb just put out a post about the Bulls diehard. I should have pulled this up before. But anyways, the point being, go check out our diehard program.
Yeah, if you guys are here and you guys need some more convincing on diehard, Melissa, AJ, others who are right here in the chat can tell you, like, if you want to get our attention off the air, right there in that CHGO diehard Discord is where you can get it. We all answer questions in the diehard. We participate. You can participate with other people who are in the Discord chat for our diehard, so it's all good. So before I keep on going, I want to tell you, Sean, you, Vinny, and you back at home that Midtown has 4 Chicagoland locations. Palatine in the northwest suburbs, Bannockburn in the North Shore, Willowbrook in the southwest suburbs, and Midtown Athletic Club and Hotel in the middle of Bucktown and Lincoln Park. Midtown Palatine has launched a multi-million-dollar transformation of the club, which will be complete in early 2024, and Midtown is offering a no initiation fees for the Bannockburn, Palatine, and Willowbrook locations through January. So hurry up and get over there. You only got like 5 days to go in this month because there's something for everyone at Midtown, whether you're looking for holistic wellness, you're looking to make some lifestyle changes in 2024. You're a single person or a married person like myself, pretty much. Midtown has everything you have. I've been engaged forever. These two got engaged after me, and I'm still engaged.
I was going to say, you're the only one of the three of us who isn't married.
Yeah. Midtown Chicago has the nicest fitness clubs I've ever been to. We're taking our time.
Nothing wrong with it.
No,
but
no.
You just lied about being married. That's all.
I'm theoretically married. Just haven't signed the paperwork.
Where's my ring?
I'm not married.
Troubles.
Well, Sean's no longer married.
All right, it's been real, Sean. Sean is no longer married. Super luxe locker rooms at Midtown with wet and dry saunas and premium amenities. Amazing indoor and outdoor pools and hot tubs. A collection of boutique fitness studios with more than 100 classes per week. You can train in the arena. If you want to do some yoga, Samadhi has you covered. My favorite is the group exercise place where it's called the theater. You get to work with other people and a trainer in front of you. It makes it really fun for you. But Midtown, for me, is known for its tennis courts because it has the best tennis courts and programming in the sport. Midtown has indoor, outdoor tennis, pickleball, and paddleball tennis. USTA professional quality all the way. Head on over to midtown.com/CHGO and find out more and schedule a tour of the Midtown Athletic Club nearest you.
Thanks, Herb. We also want to let you know about our friends over at Ray CDJR. If you are in the market for a new vehicle, we have some great news for you. Our partner at Ray, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram in Fox Lake is starting their Ray Resolution with the Start Something New sales event. And do you know what that means? You'll be able to shop incredible savings on every new vehicle in stock because they want to clear out the lot to make room for brand new 2024 vehicles. For a limited time, get up to $9,000 off new Jeep models with dealer discount. And that's not all. Shop their last call on remaining 2023 Dodge Challenger and Charger models, including Hellcats, Scat Packs, and more. Dodge is the most powerful muscle car brand, so you don't want to miss out on their last call with over 20 Dodge muscle cars to choose from. At Ray CDJR, you'll always be able to shop one of Chicagoland's largest inventories and drive home with more money in your pocket than you'd expect thanks to Ray's Price Promise. Don't miss out. Shop great deals all month long and save big because Ray CDJR makes buying a new vehicle more affordable than ever. Fans can get a free oil change when you mention CHGO at the service center or mention CHGO when you book online at raycdjr.com/service. That's raycdjr.com/service, but you have to schedule before January 31st. If you are in the new market for a new vehicle, then you have to check out the team at Ray, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram because they're the only team we recommend. Visit them today on Route 12 in Fox Lake. For more information, visit Ray CDJR in Fox Lake or raycdjr.com, serving the community since 1963. And I feel just remiss to not be more up to date on the Die Hard stuff at the time that I was telling you about that. But recently, Adam Hogue posted a Bears things about why Caleb Williams wouldn't want, or why wouldn't Caleb Williams want to be a Bear? The Blackhawks have been doing a great job. Jay and Mario have the Blackhawks beat, and then also the Blackhawks rebuild report for diehards that they've been posting. And then again, Vinny had his diehard mailbag that he answered, and Will Gottlieb had a post from the 19th about the Bulls taking a lesson from the Raptors and trade DeMar DeRozan and Caruso while keeping Levine. So if you are interested in that extra content, please check out the Die Hard program. Shout out to Connor for the super chat, the $2 super chat, where, of course, he's dropping Shingo Takatsu stats. 204 ERA plus in 2004, 86 ERA plus in 2005, and the drop of 118 is the biggest drop ever. Might be.
I also got a question while we were doing the ad break. I got a question on Twitter. Does John Brebbia have more B's in his last name than any other player in White Sox history? That's a question that I fielded on Twier.
I don't know how I'll ever find that.
I don't know how. You'd have to just go through guys' names.
Connor?
Yeah.
What you should do, here's a way to do it. Go to the uniform history page on Baseball Reference, right? Click open all numbers, so that every player that has ever worn a jersey number for the White Sox is shown. And then Control F double B and see if there's anyone with more than, well, because that's how you're going to rack up B's, is by having consecutive B's, I would imagine.
And it's last name only?
Yeah, for this purpose.
Well,
yes.
I'll get through this and try to find this. I'm already at 8. Alex Cintron's number. He's the last person to wear 8.
Can you not open them all at once?
I did.
Oh, okay.
I just have to
then
scroll.
hit Control F.
I got it, man. I know how to work
double
a computer.
B.
Okay, there's 23. All right.
There you go.
Skeeter Webb.
Skeeter.
Chuck Stobbs. Jeff Abbott. Jim Abbott. Greg Hibbard.
The little bulldog.
This is great radio. I didn't want to do this.
I think it kind of is.
It is.
Earl Webb.
I don't think anybody's going to beat it because having 3 B's in your name is a lot.
Jimmy Gobble.
That's 2. But remember Jimmy Gobble?
Yeah, I do. Former Royal. Great.
Jimmy Gobble.
You don't remember Jimmy Gobble?
No.
Yeah.
Gobble Gobble.
Yeah.
Like a turkey. That's
Thanksgiving's favorite baseball player.
Daniel Webb.
I think he R.I.P.
Mm-hmm.
Rob Dibble. Greg Hibbard. Daniel Webb. Yeah,
That's it.
John Brebbia takes the cake?
Congratulations, John Brebbia.
We have the player with the most B's and the first person in the almanac.
I feel
Hurts, man.
Remiss that there might be a guy that has B, REB, and then ends maybe B.A.
You
I don't know.
think that there is someone with
Maybe.
4 non-consecutive B's in their last name? Come on, Sean.
It would have to be long like Encarnacion, but, with B's.
Knickerbocker. Bill Knickerbocker. That was a name. 1941. Okay, all right. I could just
Well,
do
that
this
team
all
was
day
bad.
long. Red Cress. Smeed Jolly.
Smeed.
Smeed. Why aren't we
Delicious.
naming kids Smeed anymore? All right, let's get into Vinny's adventure over at the Boys and Girls Club with the White Sox. 10 of them, right? I think there was supposed to be 11, and Colson Montgomery couldn't make it, but there was
Correct.
10.
Yes.
So what stood out from the 10 plus Pedro?
Yeah, I mean, listen, I'm obviously going to get to talk to these guys more in depth come spring training, but good to catch up with them while it's technically still the off season, and they can have you can talk to them with a little more focus on kind of the changes that have happened since the end of last season. So for guys that are coming back, guys like Yohan Moncada, guys like Andrew Benintendi, who were both there, it's about what have they done differently in the off season. Benintendi kind of forecasted at the end of last year what he was going to be working on, trying to get stronger, he said, in all facets, but certainly muscular strength is part of that. So he's been lifting a lot of weights 4 or 5 times a week with the weightlifting, and then he's eating a lot, too.
Does he look bigger?
A little. Like a neck. His neck looks a little bigger.
okay.
Let's go.
So there's that, but obviously
Doing
he was wearing like a
pellet
long.
trap
He
work.
was wearing like a jersey over a long sleeve shirt. Like there's only so much you can tell, but yeah, I mean he's obviously focused on that for a while. And Moncada feels good. Moncada feels healthy. Obviously talking with confidence about what he's going to be able to do, but he had a good line yesterday when it was brought up that this could be his last year with the White Sox. He said, I think God has saved something for me at the end here or something like that. So, a guy talking with confidence and a guy talking like he's feeling good, which, again, for Moncada, that's been what we've been talking about for years now is how does he feel? How healthy is he? So, and then there's new guys that have arrived. Got to talk with Nicky Lopez, the local product. Really nice guy, by the way. But just talking about kind of he knows what's going on out there. He said, hey, we hear that we're picked to finish last and all this. And he's talking about trying to prove not necessarily those people wrong, but prove them right that they believe that they can be not that, And so this is a guy who played for the Royals when Pedro Grifol was in Kansas City, talked about kind of that new style that Pedro wants to play that might be Royals inspired, but also, D-backs inspired, as we've been talking about, and kind of maybe what might be a different looking game that the White Sox are playing. Nicky Lopez is probably all about that kind of thing, right? He's one of those kind of grindy, defense first, do the little things type guys, and I think the White Sox have placed an emphasis on bringing those guys into the organization. Again, who knows if that's going to equal wins, but they think it will be beneficial to them, and that they will be able to do some things that they just were not able to do last year. We did hear from Pedro Grifol, who talked about some of the guys. He's talked about Moncada feeling a lot better, too. He talked about Eloy Jimenez working on a swing that helps him get the ball in the air a little bit more. Again, these are obvious things that everybody was looking at last year that needed to be fixed going into the season, but how many times have we seen those things not get fixed? Now we're at least hearing that the work has been done to try to fix them. So, and then Pedro also made Dylan Cease the opening day starter, probably the earliest named opening day starter in team history, perhaps, because I've always found it so funny how that's like such a thing at spring training, and it's like, hey, are you ready to name your opening day starter? Is it going to be the guy who, threw a no-hitter for you last year and is your best pitcher? We'll see. We've got some things to iron out. We don't know. It's going to be him. But so
the suspense was killing us.
Right. So Pedro made it easy on us this year. We don't have to spend 3 different days during the spring asking him about that. Dylan Cease, should he remain in a White Sox uniform, will be the team's opening day starter. Again, shocking, I know. But and then I got to talk for a very small bit to Nick Nastrini, minor league pitcher for the White Sox, who is hell-bent on not being a minor league pitcher. He said to me that his goal is to leave camp as one of the 26 guys on that major league roster. We heard it from him, I think before the season even ended last year. And it was interesting. One of the questions I asked him was, what were you happy about last year? You did well. What were you happy about it? And he was like, I was actually bummed that the season ended. He wanted to. He felt he was heating up, and he wanted to keep pitching. So he also said he also had his eyes kind of popped when I brought up Jordan Leisure, who he
okay.
says is nasty and could very easily make the big league team with the stuff that he has. So there you go. Those are the highlights from yesterday. I'm sure I'll be writing a little bit more off of some of those conversations. But like I said, good to kind of catch up mid-off season when you can talk a little bit more focused about the off season rather than get to spring training and already be looking ahead toward when the games are going to be starting. So it was nice to see everybody, and I don't know how excited that makes the folks at home, but like I said, good to hear from them.
As an adult, you kind of get jaded, especially an adult White Sox fan. You get jaded about seeing those players at the Boys and Girls Club in Bridgeport, but I guarantee those kids had a ball. Like Yoel Moncada's here, Andrew Benintendi's here, Nick Nestrini's here. These people are coming out and showing us some support and coming out and playing with us. It's a good feeling for those kids and a little outreach for the White Sox. It's good in the middle of winter as they don't really have a thing except for the season ticket holder thing tonight to come up here and to show some support for the local Boys and Girls Club, which is a very important tool. I didn't have to use it back in the day because, I lived in Wheaton, so it was kind of, frou-frou, but Boys and Girls Club, I think Pedro spoke about it, that it's very vital to people, especially when you're just looking for extra to do, and to have the White Sox, Major League Baseball players to come out and show support. I'm sure those kids had an excellent time.
Pedro said he was attended, I don't know what the correct verbiage might be, but attended what was then just the boys club when he was growing up in Miami area.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And probably helped him in his life moving forward.
Just to bring this up, to go off of the boys and girls discussion, to go back to Jordan Leisure, because I missed this. MLB Pipeline back on January 10th put out Pipeline's executive prospect poll for best pitchability. Jordan Leisure received votes for best fastball, and the stuff is a 123 stuff plus down on the minors and a 116 stuff plus on a slider. So the eye test from Nick Nastrini is nasty, and the Hawkeye camera is saying it's nasty as well. So
yeah, I mean,
that's exciting.
As we talk about a bullpen where we think we can plug some guys in, certainly the aforementioned John Brebbia, but outside of him and Santos and Tim Hill, who's going to make up this bullpen? It certainly seems like there'd be an opportunity for someone like Leisure if he can, if he's ready to go ahead and crack that relief core. Another thing that Pedro said yesterday that I'll bring up real quick, it kind of in that vein, I asked him, like, hey, half the guys here today or yesterday are minor leaguers. They have no major league experience, but a lot of them are going to be going to big league camp. What sort of actual opportunity do these guys have to make the team? I think the position the White Sox are in, he said that these guys are going to be allowed to compete for jobs, and I don't think that that's really ridiculous. Obviously, there are some guys who the White Sox want to make sure are ready for that. You know what I mean? A guy like a 20-year-old Edgar Caro, that might be rushing things a little bit, but like I keep saying, if Colson Montgomery shows up and is reaching base at a 400 clip in spring training, can you give me a real ironclad reason why he can't be on this team? I mean, it's not like I get the not wanting to rush, and I think at the end of the day he'll probably start it in AAA because they want to make sure everything's perfect from a defensive standpoint. But I think the opportunity is there to show up. Prove to the White Sox that you are ready. I don't see why you couldn't make a team like this.
And speaking of Kenny and Rick, how about those trades at the end of their tenure, man? I mean, you're going to maybe get Jordan Leisure in the bullpen. Nick Nastrini wants to leave and be in the rotation this year for Joe Kelly and Lance Lynn on their last years. Baby.
Well, and then Kendall Graveman, I mean, it's unfortunate what happened, but he's out for all of 2024, so you got Corey Lee for a half a season for Kendall Graveman. I know that Corey Lee had 5 hits in 2023, but there's still, as you brought up on that Athletic podcast, there's still some industry interest in Corey Lee. So, hey, maybe Corey Lee can go down to Charlotte and prove something. What's the other trade? Oh, and then, I mean, they traded Lucas Giolito and Reynaldo Lopez to the Angels just for them to trade him to the Guardians. So it's like that trade they won immediately with Caro and Kai Busch. Right, so no, I mean, it was a fantastic run from Rick and Ken at that trade deadline, and
the one that we don't bring up that often because it's lopsided right now. The Jake Berger for Jake Eder trade.
Right, but I mean, even then, I mean, Eater's still a top 30 prospect. I mean, it's just he had a bad half of season. We'll see what the 6 years of Jake Eater's real career are. But no, I mean, I think you look at the top 30, and I think there's probably like, what, 10 from the trade deadline alone, which is a really great job there. So it's unfortunate that they were in that position, but still good. So Nestrini's interesting, and it's interesting that he wanted more. Had 4 starts in AAA. 2 of them were great. 2 of them were horrible. 6 hits, 6 innings, 2 hits, 2 earned, 9 strikeouts in his first start against the Jacksonville Jumbo Shrimp. And in his last start, 5 innings, no hits, no walks, 3 strikeouts, no earned runs. So that's end on a high note.
The last start was a perfect game, wasn't it?
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Or no hitter.
5 innings of perfect game, I think. Yeah.
I'll look at
before they took him out, but yeah.
Yeah, 5 innings of perfect game, and then they gave it up in the 7th. So it wasn't a full perfect game, but yeah, no, he was completely perfect. But the other 2 2.2 where he gave up 2 earned runs, walked 5, and then 6 innings, which isn't bad, but 6 earned runs, 3 walks. I think not the greatest there, but the biggest thing is you see 116 innings pitched the previous year, and then 114 innings this year. It seemed like the White Sox, too, kind of slowed him down once they acquired him. He pitched on August 31st, September 6th, September 13th, September 24th. So it seems like there was a little bit of a gap in between the way that he was pitching. I don't think they were using him as much as they could have, which means, hey, this is a guy that could probably pitch 130, 140 innings. If the biggest need for this team, I think Chris Getz said, is starting pitching innings, if Nestrini really looks sharp, I absolutely can see him being like that one guy that makes it out of camp.
And remember, too, it's not all or nothing. If he starts the season in AAA, he could be here in May. He could be here in June, July, whenever. I mean, it's certainly not an all or nothing situation where it's like, boy, this is Nestrini's chance to make the team, and then I mean, you've seen it. A starting pitcher can get hurt 1 week into the season, and then you got to go to the next guy down on that list. So I would very much expect him to play for the major league team this season.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. Yeah.
And I don't think I like the attitude. I love the attitude. Hey, I want to break camp with the team. That's what all minor leaguers should think. And I like that he's verbalizing it to you guys in the media and letting it be known. For the most part, unless they get injuries, as we discussed earlier, Vinny, they won't need a fit starter in the first rotation around and maybe went into the second rotation. So even if he makes the team, I don't think he will be used initially, and so that will be a shot against him to just go down to the minors and get innings in there. So I like the mindset of him saying, I'm going to make this damn team. Even if he doesn't, as Vinny says, he still has a goal to go and pitch for the major league team. I want people who want to pitch for the major league team who are satisfied with being down in the minors. That is the guy that I'm looking forward to seeing.
Absolutely. And he's got apparently 4 pitches, so, I mean, let's see what he does against major league hitters. I'm all for Nick Nestrini being hyped up to make the major league team. The other thing that you brought up was Eloy Jimenez's hands. Looking back at StatCast, I feel like his hands are different from that 2022 season compared to
he has different hands
season. Well, the
transplant.
Yeah, the batting position. I'm sorry for the phrasing there. But you mentioning the lowering of the hands, it looked like in 2022 his bottom hand aligned with the sock on his shoulder, like in the black alternates, and then that his hands were a little bit farther back in 2023, and then maybe a little bit lower. So I don't know if he's going to go lower already. There was an article that was pretty interesting from 2017 from Fangraphs where it talks about how Eric Thames lowered his hands in 2017. Aaron Alther lowered his hands, former Philly, right? Miguel Sano, Gene Segura, Jake Lamb all lowered their hands. Matt Stairs, who is the former Phillies hitting coach, was a big proponent of lowering their hands to increase power. So it has helped before and recently in the past for hitters. We'll see if it helps Eloy. I think mainly, too, you just need to clean up that swing. Like, the biggest thing with Eloy is health, obviously,
of course,
which I know Moncada said as well. But the way that his legs are, like, I feel like if he's just a little bit more, let's refine this to a step and swing, I wonder the type of hitter that Eloy is. Because obviously, he might feel like he needs all of those mechanics, but you're 6'4", 250. Just swing the bat. And I think if you clean that up to be a little bit more natural, I guess.
Streamlined.
I guess that's natural for him.
A great quote. Another great quote from yesterday came from Nicky Lopez when I asked, I go, hey, you've played against these White Sox guys who have been here for a while. What do you know that they can do if things work? And he goes, if Eloy stays healthy, he can leave Mother Earth 45 times.
That's pretty good.
End quote.
Awesome.
Nicky Lopez might be going up into the broadcast booth.
Seriously,
once he's
he
done.
could leave Mother Earth.
Mother Earth. All right, Nicky Lopez.
Baby, I love it.
Let's go.
When we're discussing replacements, we barely talk about the second base spot. Hey, Nicky Lopez can lock down second base for us. I'm in.
I mean, he's the second baseman at the
I
moment.
don't,
No, I'm just saying. Like,
I don't think there's debates about
I don't
who's
think,
on
no, I don't
Romy
think,
Gonzalez just got DFA'd.
I don't
so.
think anybody's like arguing, hey, we got to go to camp with Nicky Lopez. Everybody knows he's a major league second baseman and will get the job done. And now he's got personality, too. We're going to love him here. Local product.
I know he's answered your DM, so you're all giddy about him. So relax.
He's a
here.
Naperville guy,
I mean,
too.
it's pretty easy to tell that he'll be the
Western
starter
Burbs.
as his
Yes.
competition, as you said.
We both hate we Warrenville South. Who doesn't?
Us Western Burbs guys got to stick together, right?
No, but as you bring up, I mean, his competition, Zach Remillard and Romy Gonzalez, have been DFA'd this year. So I mean, that's also pretty
That's
good.
how strong
sign.
the White Sox feel about Nicky Lopez.
I mean,
man.
listen, they do. I mean, they do. I mean, to be honest, like they think the defense is fantastic, and he's shown that he can play really good defense in the past. Now, again, it's another one of these additions where you're wondering maybe throughout the whole lineup collectively where is the offense going to come from. But in terms of what they set out to do, improve defensively at second base, they have done that with Nicky Lopez. It's whether that will be enough to produce wins, of course.
Right. And how many wins, too? The line is set at 63.5 for wins for the White Sox this year. So
By who?
the sports books.
All of them got together and picked the same number?
So, I mean, if we could be honest about the way that sports books work, typically Pinnacle Sportsbook sets the lines. They're an international book. They are like known as the line making book. And most sports books just copy off of what Pinnacle does.
So
and
it's
then
kind of
make
a
it little
situation with when the gas stations are across the street from each
Yes.
other.
Right.
Gotcha.
Yeah. And then too, like since Pinnacle isn't even available in the United States, like if it lines at like minus 110 on Pinnacle, DraftKings will likely offer it, or just sorry to use a name there. Another sports book in America would put it at like minus 120 because the idea is where else would you go?
Hey, you can name them because Circa encourages you to shop around.
Right. Well, no. True. I just meant more like Circa is, if you're looking at the sports, I don't know why I'm going on this rant. If you're looking at the sportsbook branch, like Circa and Pinnacle are next to each other. So like Circa is the equivalent to Pinnacle internationally. Like if there is a Pinnacle in the United States, it is Circa. Anyways.
So the idea is that these folks think that the White Sox are going to lose 99 games-ish.
Right. What's 64? What?
Will that be 98?
Yeah.
So there you go.
That's a lot.
That's an improvement.
Well, I guess
take the over.
what I was going to say is like right?
Oh, absolutely.
It's hard to lose 100 games.
Well,
It's very hard to do it 2 years in a row.
This has been brought up before, but like the easiest and cheapest improvement that you can make is defense. And the way that you stop runs from scoring is defense.
There you go.
So if you are able to take your defensive run saves from a negative 17 to a positive, like you should be able to at least stop the bleeding from your horrible offense. If Eloy Jimenez, if Eloy Jimenez and Yohan Moncada are healthy, you should at least be getting average, consistent performance from them from those positions. So as long as they're above an OPS of 100, you're getting a lot better than what you were getting from third base and DH last year. I guess
You
not
already
third base
did the
'cause
numbers
Berger, but-
of the Arizona Diamondbacks from a couple of years ago from their negative defensive run save to their positive defensive run save, and you see the difference of the team being much better because they improved defensively. We saw the White Sox play last year. I don't necessarily care about the 100 losses. It was just how they played to get those 100 losses. If this team loses 100 games and it's a little bit more aesthetically clean, they're picking the ball up and throwing to first, I won't be happy, but at least the game will be not frustrating like it was in 22 and 23 especially.
I mean, I was just going to say, like, they played that same style that made them lose 101 games last year, and it only made them lose 81 games in 22. they looked the same.
Yes.
And so I'm not just saying that, the difference between luck is 20 games or something like that, but the point being that, they might not be 81-81 this year, but they are expected to look a lot better than they did even in 22 when they were 500.
Post trade deadline where this team was, I think they're in a better spot, and I think that they've improved their defense, and I think they've improved their pitching. It's just
they need to score runs.
Can they score any runs outside of Luis Robert Jr.? Want to go to one of Connor's comments, and then I think we can wrap this show up. Loved this. Made me smile. Connor saying, this team as currently constructed is so unexciting. I couldn't bring myself to update MVP Baseball's roster during a full week's vacation. Wasn't looking forward to editing Paul DeYoung's contact to 54.
And that's saying something, because Connor and I have spent probably the collective hours probably add up to months of our lives editing MVP Baseball rosters. So I remember dissecting video of Jed Lowry's batting stance at one point in my parents' basement as we edited to make sure that we had the most accurate batting stance for Jed Lowry.
I love you guys. Where have you guys been in my life? That is exactly who I need to hang out with. You don't do that? You're not a weird freak? I know you played MLB The Show.
Freak.
Yes,
I mean, he's still playing MVP Baseball, 2005 version.
Oh, yeah.
And just updating the rosters. Oof, that's a lot of work. That's a lot of work. I just buy the new game.
There is no new game.
I mean, not MVP Baseball,
right, exactly.
But yeah.
You could play.
You guys are just loyalists.
Yeah,
hey,
exactly.
I won't be doing the show garbage.
I mean,
if EA loyalists ever.
I got to be honest, the only thing that is better from MLB The Show 2023 was the last one, or is it 24?
No, I haven't got a new one yet.
It is honestly just the graphics, and it's easier to see pitches better. So it's it looks more like a fastball. It looks more like a curveball, right? But it's not that different. Honestly, the 2005 MVP baseball game is the greatest baseball game of all time, and it is just copied. MLB The Show 2024 is just copied off of MLB Baseball 2005, and they've been updating it since 2006. The only thing that got better is the graphics, and I mean that respectfully. That game was just so good that San Diego Studios just have been making the same game for
the game
years.
plays a little better. It's a little bit less clunky.
Refined.
Yeah. They got their blueprint, and they're okay, they like this, they'll love that.
They do the thing that Madden doesn't. They refine their games. They build off of what they have made great, and they just try to tweak it each and each year. Madden, they just take a hammer to it and break it each and every time they have a new physics.
EA got lazy with all their games, and then they tried to give us college baseball. Ugh, just terrible.
The game itself was good, though. It was just, why are we playing college baseball?
Oh, yeah. I loved college baseball. 2006 and 2007 with the stadium editor.
Who the hell do I know here? No one. I don't know any of these college players.
Long Beach State. Anyways, that's going to do it, I think. We got anything else? We talked. Oh, do you want to give some thoughts on Schifrin? Or Schiffin?
Schriffen. Going to take you a bit.
You can read Vinny's piece up at allchgo.com about new White Sox play-by-play announcer John Schriffen, along with the John Brebbia piece, Schriffen. Mm-hmm. Do you want to share?
Yeah, I mean, I was on the Zoom with him yesterday, which I believe you guys played on the show yesterday while I was down on the south side. But listen, the guy's excited. The guy is billed for, or is talked about as having a lot of energy, is having a lot of emotion, and I think when you're talking about a local team announcer, those are the things you want, right? You want the moment to be exciting when you're excited. And I think John Schriffen is going to be dedicated to trying to deliver that. I mean, listen, this whole situation that he has stepped into is colored by a lot of things that are entirely out of his control. Mm-hmm. And so I would just ask folks to remember that. And you can feel however you want to feel about who's not going to be in the booth for the White Sox next year, but don't necessarily make that the end-all, be-all of your opinion on the guy who is going to be there. And so, listen, this happens in this industry, right? And I understand that right now there's reasons for folks to feel a certain way, but let's see where we're at in 10 years. Let's see where we're at in 15 years, because John Schriffen might still be here and might have won everybody over a decade ago. You might identify him as what he said yesterday. What he's planning on being is the voice and face of the White Sox on a nightly basis. So give him a chance to do it before you get mad at him.
We got to get a place for him to eat on the south side or the north side. I went to a place called Choppers today on the north side.
I drive by that every day. I've never been there.
Love Choppers. The chop pack is perfect.
It smells so good. When you've got to slow down to a crawl because of that school zone right there.
Yeah.
That school zone right there at Ashland and North Avenue. It smells so good. You always get stuck sitting right there.
It's tough to park in there because it's a small parking lot. But the chop pack, which is a double cheeseburger, some fries, and some coleslaw, telling you what.
There's a sign on the door that says you deserve a shake today. And every time I look at it, I'm like, yeah, I do.
You're right, Choppers. And I'll go right past it.
I think we're going to be driving home and getting shakes tonight.
Too.
No, your point's right that, again, I know that I think I casted the most negativity, at least out of us, on the podcast yesterday. About
Certainly Twitter had you beat.
Yes, well, they usually do. But yeah, I've never heard John Schriffen call a game. And the first year might be clunky as him and Steve get to know each other. It's a multi-year deal, so we will know or get to know John Schriffen. So we'll see.
And I think the boys at 108 said last night, like, I just hope that Steve stays around for a couple years so they get a little rapport because Steve is up there in age. He might not be around here and doing play-by-play and color for that long, but they need to get a rapport. As you said, the first year will be a feeling out period. And Schriffen says that he's going to be the point guard for Steve and get the knowledge out of him.
Well, I mean, that's just a play-by-play announcer. Like, I don't know how much of course, like, that's what you should
do. But hey, we've had play-by-play announcers, a Hall of Famer one, didn't get the best out of Steve.
That's true, but Hawk was memorable. That's, I guess, my worry with Schriffen. I don't know if he'll be memorable, but we'll see. I think Terezi E. on that same podcast put it the right way, and I brought this up to you. It's hard if you're Andrew Vaughn to follow Frank Thomas, Paul Konerko, and Jose Abreu. Right? Andrew Vaughn, being the third pick, had a lot of expectations and has been an average to a below average major league player. It's not Andrew Vaughn's fault that he is not Jose Abreu, Paul Konerko, Frank Thomas. Maybe it's Andrew Vaughn's fault that he's not a little bit better of a baseball player. Maybe he needs to do a little bit more work to get there. But again, not his fault that he's not those people before him. It's not John Schriffen's fault that he's following, and I think that there was no interruption between these two, Jack Brickhouse, Harry Carey, Ken Harrelson, and Benetti.
Yeah, I don't know in that 86 season when Hawk was doing the GM thing who did play-by-play. But, yeah, your point is well taken.
Like, it's a real tough lineage to follow, no matter who that was, whether it's Connor McKnight, Will Fleming, or John Schriffen. And that's the one thing, too. Out of those three names, the person I want most is Jason Benetti. So, oh well. Make sure you're hitting the thumbs up button. And if you have liked the CHGO White Sox podcast, make sure you subscribe to the CHGO Sports YouTube channel. We got coverage for all of your favorite Chicago teams. I don't think the Bulls play tonight or the Blackhawks, but when they do this weekend, we will have post-game shows covering those beats, and we'll be back on Monday with a ton of live shows from CHGO. That's Vinnie Duber. You can follow him at Vinnie Duber. He's our CHGO White Sox beat writer. And again, read his piece up at allchgo.com about John Schriffen and John Brebbia signing. That's Herb Lawrence. You can follow him at Ecknerwall23. He's our CHGO White Sox community leader. I'm Sean Anderson, and thank you to Sarah for producing our show. We will talk to you later. Goodbye.
We all silly like the mayor.